Be quiet. I gave you all a warning. I can't stand this because, well, that's not going to work, is it? What do I need to do? Don't move, don't sneeze. Is it better if I leave it in there?
Yeah, sure.
God, got it. Now I look like a professor or something. So my name is Eric. I am Lois's sister Karen's son-in-law. So there'll be a test on that towards the end of our time. Welcome everybody. Look, it's hard to get together for these particular events, but at the same time, what a celebration of life as we think back on Ole and everything that happened in his life. So I've got a few things prepared. One of the things I'll challenge you with, originally I was going to walk around the room. That's not going to work. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's working about as well as Washington, D.C. right now.
That's great.
Yes, he is.
All right. I guess I don't know what to do. You want me to talk loud?
Yes.
All right. So you'll really have to listen. So just a couple of things as I'm talking, be thinking about some story regarding Ole. There's going to be an opportunity for other people to share. Here's one of the things Ole wanted. Ole wanted us to get together and laugh and eat and have a good time. That's really what he wanted. So if there's a story that comes to your mind, you can stand up right where you are now that you don't have to worry about a microphone and a podium. And just go ahead and share that story. I know that the family would really enjoy that. I've written a few things down. It's about 3 or 4 hours worth of time, and so it'll go quick. Ole was born August 12, 1932 in Wayzata, Minnesota. He grew up very close to my father-in-law, Gary. They were cousins. While Gary was 5 years younger, one of the things that he said is, Ole really wasn't my cousin. He became like a big brother to me. He graduated from Big Fork High School in 1950, and after graduating, he served in the United States Navy for 4 years during the Korean War, and later attended college at the University of Minnesota. Ole loved everything about flying, and a story that I heard yesterday was Ole joined the Navy because he wanted to fly. That was one of his dreams, and upon entering the Navy, shortly after, learning at the time that everything regarding flying was all about color coordination. And that's how they did the maps back then. Well, Ole was colorblind. And so he quickly learned that despite having a dream of wanting to fly, he wasn't able to fly. But he served our country. When he finished his time in the Navy, he returned home. And I've got a phenomenal story that Gary showed me just to share with you. Upon his return, Ole had bought a really, really cool car. Now, all the guys in the room know a lot about cool cars, right? So Ole was the one with the cool car. He had a 1957 Plymouth Fury. Gary was jealous. He confided because he just had a regular 1951 Plymouth, and it was a much older car. Well, Gary was working at the Pure Oil station at the time, and one afternoon, Ole pulled up in the 1957 Plymouth Fury and said, "Hey, Gary, I've got an idea. I'd like to trade cars with you for the next day or two." Gary's like, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Yeah, of course I'll take that trade." So after finishing his shift, Gary got a bunch of his buddies together, showed off this car, and they spent the next couple of days cruising. Couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later, Gary learned that Ole had actually been chased by the cops that afternoon. And that's why he wanted to switch the car. That's what little brothers are for, right? If somebody's going to get in trouble, it's not going to be me. It's going to be my little brother. Gary met my mother-in-law, Karen, and shortly after, Karen and Gary introduced Lois and Ole. The four hung out and even double dated together. He married Lois at Oak Knoll Church in Minnetonka, Minnesota, on March 7th, 1959. So now Gary's cousin, Gary's friend, also became his brother-in-law. I think if there would have been one more move in the DNA, they might have had to move to Arkansas. The couple lived in Bloomington, Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota, and Mankato, Minnesota, before making their final home in Faribault with their three children, Rick, Pete, and Tina, and that was in 1968. He worked in the tire and car industry his entire life and owned and operated the Merrill Service Center in Faribault from 1968 to 1981. He loves stamp collecting, golfing, fishing, reading, playing euchre, and most importantly, is it euchre? Euchre. I asked 4 people how to say that word. He liked playing the Rubik's Cube. Maybe we'll just go with that. And spending time with family. You know, as we reflect on such an amazing life, I've got to share my favorite story regarding Uncle Ole. When Amy and I were married, we were the last Jackson marriage. There was 3 girls and a boy, so we were the last ones. We spent an awful lot of time at Karen and Gary's cabin in northern Minnesota. And when you're the last one to get married, what's out? There's no more bedrooms. That's just the way that it worked. And so we were told we could sleep in the loft. At Karen and Gary's place, there was a pool table, there was a big screen TV, and so that's where the family hung out at night. Well, there was this huge couch. It was so large that it had the ability to go from a U shape into a bed. Eric and Amy, that's where you guys are going to be able to sleep. So there was a couple of rules in the cabin. 1, you had to have fun, and 2, no smoking. Those were the 2 rules in the cabin. And only knew those 2 rules. But he decided to break them. So you have to picture the whole family up in the loft, which was our bedroom, and we're all watching a game. And slowly as the night progresses, I'm too tired and people begin to leave our bedroom. Ole did not. Ole didn't leave the bedroom. So it got to the point where, I was beginning to get tired. And now everybody's gone but Ole. And so what does Ole do? He lights up a cigarette. And I'm like, I am giving these social cues, right? I'm moving the couch. We're getting the couch ready. Ole's still there. I got undressed, got ready for bed. Ole's still there. And I come to find out that he stayed up there for maybe 3 or 4 cigarettes just in order to have that time. I thought he wanted to watch the game, but I later learned that Karen said there's nobody that could smoke in the cabin. But Ole was breaking the rules. So to me, Ole was a quiet man, but everything that came out of his mouth had meaning. That's probably the best way that I could describe him. His words were wise. His approach to life via his family was authentic and extremely genuine. His love for his bride was amazing. And I think it's an example to all of us. So as you guys think about what you want to share, this will be open. You can stand where you are. That works too. But I just want to thank the family for putting this all together and bringing us all together to honor Ole. Love you, Lois. All right, who wants to share without a microphone? I'm going to carry it around just so we look good.